श्रीराघवम् दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयम् सीतापतिम् रघुकुलान्वय रत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्द दलायताक्षम् रामम् निशाचर विनाशकरम् नमामि नमामि रघुनन्दन दशरथनन्दन
श्रीरघुनन्दन दशरथनन्दन
भद्राधीश्वर रामा
भद्राधीश्वर रामा
वैदेही प्रिय वैकुण्ठवासा
वैदेही प्रिय वैकुण्ठवासा
सदा स्मरामि रामेति रामा
सदा स्मरामि रामेति रामा
सदा स्मरामि रामेति रामा
सदा स्मरामि रामेति रामा राम सुमिर मन 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 जानकी वल्लभ दशरथ नंदन जानकी वल्लभ दशरथ नंदन रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र श्री रामचंद्र मन सीताराम राम भज मन सीताराम भज मन सीताराम राम भज मन सीताराम भज मन राधे श्याम श्याम भज मन राधे श्याम भज मन राधे श्याम श्याम भज मन राधे श्याम भज मन साई राम राम भज मन साई राम भज मन साई राम राम भज मन साई राम भज मन साई राम राम भज मन साई राम भज मन साई राम राम भज मन साई राम
मैथिली पदे रघुनंदना
मैथिली पते रघुनंदना
रामा राघवा राजीवलोचना
रामा राघवा राजीवलोचना
रामा राघवा राजीवलोचना
रामा राघवा राजीवलोचना
मैथिली पदे रघुनंदना
मैथिली पते रघुनंदना
दीनावना करुणामया
दीनावना करुणामया
कमलानयना कौसल्यतनया
कमलानयना कौसल्यतनया
कमलानयना कौसल्यतनया
कमलानयना कौसल्यतनया
पतित पावन
पतित पावन पतिपुरीश्वर पतिपुरीश्वर पावन नाम तारक नाम पाप विमोचन तारक नाम पाप विमोचन दानव भंजन राम दशरथ नंदन राम भंजन राम दशरथ नंदन राम पावन नाम तारक नाम पाप विमोचन राम तारक नाम पाप विमोचन पावन नाम तारक नाम पाप विमोचन पावन नाम तारक नाम पाप विमोचन
हे प्रशांति निलया राम हे पतिपुरी भगवान
हे प्रशांति निलया राम हे पतिपुरी भगवान
अहल्योद्धारक राम दाशरथि रघुनाथ
अहल्योद्धारक राम दाशरथि रघुनाथ
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम 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 जय राम
श्री राम 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 जय राम
साई राम 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 साई 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 राम
राम राम रविकुल सोमा
राम राम रविकुल सोमा
कोदंड रामा पटाभिरामा
कोदंड रामा पटाभिरामा
साई रामा साकेत रामा
साई रामा साकेत रामा
जय जय रामा जानकी 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 रामा जय राम हरे जय राम हरे जय सीता राम हरे जय राम हरे जय राम हरे जय सीता राम हरे जय कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे जय राधा कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे जय राधा कृष्ण हरे जय साई हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे जय साई हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। हे अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। हे पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। हे पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। हे राम दूता हे राम भक्ता हे राम दासा नमो नमो। हे राम दूता हे राम भक्ता हे राम दासा नमो नमो। सीता माता शोक विनाशा सीता माता शोक विनाशा। अनाथ नाथा नमो नमो। अनाथ नाथा नमो नमो। मारुति राया महानुभाव। मारुति राया महानुभाव। मारुति राया महानुभाव। मारुति राया महानुभाव। अति बलवंता नमो नमो। अति बलवंता नमो नमो। वीरांजनेय नमो नमो। वीरांजनेय नमो नमो। दशरथ नंदन राम। दशरथ नंदन राम। आनंददायक श्याम। आनंददायक श्याम। प्रेमामृत भगवान। प्रेमामृत भगवान। जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। दशरथ नंदन राम। दशरथ नंदन राम। आनंददायक श्याम। आनंददायक श्याम। प्रेमामृत भगवान। प्रेमामृत भगवान। जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। दशरथ नंदन श्री रामचंद्र धर्म संरक्षक राम।
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, ది బెస్ట్ వే టు లవ్ గాడ్ ఈజ్ టు లవ్ ఆల్, సర్వ్ ఆల్. మనం అందరినీ ప్రేమించాలి, అందరినీ సేవించాలి. మనం సేవించడం కోసమని పుట్టాము. ఈ సర్వీసులో మనం ప్రయాణమైనప్పుడే మానవత్వం అనేటువంటిది సార్థకమవుతుంది.
Uncle Subri Naidu, Zone Chair of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, Brother Suresh Nanlal, Zone Spiritual Coordinator, Zone Coordinators, National Presidents, loving sisters and brothers, Om Shri Sai Ram. What a truly divine way to commence our gathering, immersed in the sacred name and message of our beloved Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. On behalf of the organizing team, it is my profound joy and honor to welcome each and every one of you to today's sacred satsang, Touched by Sai. Whether you're joining us from South Africa, Mauritius, or Whether you're joining us from South Africa, Mauritius, or Morocco, across the expanse of Zone 9, or from any corner of the globe, your presence here is a reflection of the deep and abiding love we all share for our dearest Lord. Touched by Sai is a monthly outpouring of love and grace, a humble offering where devotees come together to share their heartfelt experiences, divine miracles, and intimate moments with Bhagawan. It is a space where we witness how Swami continues to touch lives, guide hearts, and walk beside us even today. How immensely blessed we are. For in this divine mission, geographical distances hold no power. Language, culture, and borders fade into insignificance. What unites us all across lands and seas is his infinite love. And as Swami so beautifully reminded us, the world is one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And it is his love that binds us as one in spirit and in purpose. It is now my humble privilege to introduce a respected elder and guiding light to so many of us on this sacred journey, our very own Zone 9 chairperson, Uncle Subri Naidu. His unwavering devotion to Bhagavan and his tireless dedication to Swami's divine mission has touched and inspired countless lives. Professionally, Uncle Subri is a retired transport manager from Meadow Feeds, a company based in South Africa. But it is his spiritual journey that truly sets him apart. Since 1982, Uncle Subri has been a devoted servant leader within the Sri Sathya Sai organization, dedicating over 40 years of selfless service. His path began as a humble devotee with a sincere desire to serve. And over the years, this deep yearning evolved into greater responsibilities as he assumed several roles within the Sri Sathya Sai organization. Today, he continues his sacred service as the zone chair for Zone 9, bringing with him decades of experience, wisdom, and heartfelt devotion. Let us welcome Uncle Subri for the opening and welcome address. Over to you, Uncle Subri.
Divine love. We are so blessed to be in this gallant organization, the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council. Nobody can be part of this organization if it was not willed by our beloved Bhagawan. So in the very outset, I want to give thanks to our Swami for giving us this great opportunity to be part of his divine mission. Right? I come from a very humble background, been through very trial times in life, and only after meeting Swami that tremendous amount of transformation has taken place in me and in my family. It was so good to come to know about Swami, and it's just a little pocket photograph that changed our entire family's life around. Our neighbor gave my late wife a little pocket photograph and said, just put this by your prayer place and just pray to this man and he'll help you out. And this happened in 1975, and where we are today, it's only through his divine grace. So once again, Swami, thank you so much for coming into our lives and bringing us to where we are. Loving sisters and brothers, I was living in the world. I had very bad company, was involved in drugs, being an alcoholic, and really gave the family a hard time. But after meeting Swami, this is where I am today. And that is only through implicit faith, intense devotion, and total love for Swami that brought me to where I am. So I'm just going to share two experiences with you because of time. The first one is Pietermaritzburg is like about 7,000 kilometers away from Parthi. And this happened in September 1992 when I was sitting in my office, and at the front I had a big photograph of Swami, and while working, I heard this voice, "Come to Parthi, I want to see you." And I thought I'm imagining it, and I ignored it and continued with my work. But 5 minutes later, very clear, Baba's voice, "Come to Parthi, I'm waiting for you." And loving brothers and sisters, the next thing I know, I was in a flight and I reached Puttaparthi in November, earlier or late November. And whenever Swami calls you, you know that there's a very big reason for him to call you. And at that time, I've already was praying to Swami for 17 years. And I always used to touch his feet and kiss his feet because to me, Swami is alive in the picture. And why I say he's alive, when I read a book in the very early years where Swami said, I'm alive in your photograph and I'm looking at you at all times and guarding you and your family. And I did not believe that. I did not believe it. And I said to the children, I'm going into the puja room, the prayer room, and just no noise. And I start bargaining with Swami. I said, Swami, I read a book where you said you are alive in this picture, and I don't believe that. It can never be true. How can you be alive in a photograph? And I said, I'm not leaving this puja room until you show me you are alive. And behold, sisters and brothers, after 20 minutes of intense prayer with full faith and devotion, Swami started blinking his eyes to me for quite some time until I was so satisfied and I said, Swami, thank you. And ever since that, in the early 80s, loving sisters and brothers, to date, every morning I must go and touch his feet, take Padam Namaskar, kiss his feet, because he showed me that he's alive. And Swami is in every one of y'all's home, constantly guiding, protecting, and blessing you. So that was one of the experience. So this trip, when I reached Puttaparthi, the next day I was told before going, when I phoned the president, the then president of our country, he said they're all going for a world conference, 6 of them, and I can come, but I cannot be part of the conference, So I said, that's fine. If the Lord called me, there's a reason. And on the 20, when we reached Puttaparthi, the very next morning after bhajans, I was walking up the South Indian canteen going towards my room, and I met our then central coordinator who was from Africa. His name was Dare Ugongolati. And he told me, Mr. Naidu, where are you going? I said, I'm going to my room. He said, aren't you attending the conference? I said, no, I'm not allowed. He said, who told you? I said to him, my president. He said, no, for the work you're doing in South Africa, you come. He took me to his room, and for the first time, I'm holding a file and got a Baba's pen in my pocket, entered a conference, and 3 days after the conference, the late Sri Indulal Shah comes in and says, Swami wants to see all of y'all in the bhajan hall. And imagine sitting there and you got God right in front of you. Bhajan doors are closed. Late Anil Kumar is there translating. Swami spoke to us for 40 minutes. And in the 40 minutes, I had nothing, just crying and crying and crying with devotion. But on the 27th of November, I had the opportunity of getting first row, and all the delegates were sitting. And I wrote a little letter saying, Swami, thank you for bringing me to the Holy Land for your darshan. And my son is a metric. I cannot afford to send him further studies. I'm handing him over to you. And today he's a general manager in one of the biggest companies. So Swami came to me, said to me, give me the letter. And he says, you're praying to me for long now, and you're always touching my feet, and you want padam. I said, yes, Swami. And he gave me padam namaskar. Loving sisters and brothers, I don't know how many of y'all had this opportunity, but when you hold the Lord's feet, a shiver comes through you. And my whole body, my hairs were standing, and it was an experience very hard to explain to you. The next day we got an interview. Because of time, I cannot go through the whole interview process. But after the interview was over, when Swami was going out to give darshan, he came to me and he put his hand on my head and he held me. And the weight that he put on my head was, my body was actually bending. And then he walked out. Just for half a minute, he held me. And when he walked out, I stood up. He said, right, you all can go for that. Come out for darshan. Swami walked out first. And when I stood up, I couldn't feel the floor. My feet is on the floor, but I can't feel it. And I took a few steps, nearly fall in the interview room. And for 3 days, I was walking in the air in Parthi. So to me, that was a great experience. And that was a life-changing moment for me, and that experience I cannot forget. And then I just did a video with Brother Kyle not last week sometime, and I'll share this with you, that in December 2010, I was given the opportunity to coordinate the Christmas decorations and party, and it was one of the best decorations at that time. And the organizers gave me an opportunity and to cut the main cake, Christmas cake with Swami. And I said, no, I can't do that. I must give it to the chap. His name is late Jiva Governor, who coordinated this entire program from the beginning of the year. So giving him that opportunity. And then it was my dream to turn Arati for Swami. And they come and tell me, Brother Subri, you can now, you got the opportunity to turn Arati for Swami. I said, no, I can't do it. The two brothers that helped Brother Jiva Governor, they must do that. And as a leader, you have to give people who done the work, give them credit. Before that, I've touched Baba's feet many times, kissed his feet once, and I said, give others an opportunity. But they came back to me just 2 days before Christmas and said, Subri, we don't know where the fourth cake came from, but you cannot turn this down. You have to either cut the cake with Swami or light the candle. So we had then our central trust chairman, Mr. Sugen Palini, who was with him. So I asked him, Sugen, what do you want to do? And he says, no, I want to cut the cake. I said, fine, I'll light the candle. And I had psoriasis and arthritis for many years. Even there in 210, while the decorations were on, my legs were all swollen up. I couldn't wear shoes. My body the arthritis was killing me. Psoriasis scales used to fall from my body, and I was very sick. And when Swami came and held my hand and together we lit the candle on the cake, the same evening, this happened on Christmas afternoon darshan, and the same evening, there was no itching, no scratching. 2 days later, I see the scales are starting to get cleaned out. And loving sisters and brothers, within 5 days, my psoriasis was gone, my arthritis was gone, and now it's 15 years now that this happened, and no more illness, all thanks to our beloved Bhagawan. If you got faith and devotion in the Lord, implicit faith and devotion and loving sisters and brothers, the only reason why I got all this darshan, because I'm a seva man through and through. I've been seva coordinator for 13 years in South Africa, and at that time, I had all this grace and darshan from Swami. And Baba said, selfless service is the easiest, safest, and surest way of feeling and experiencing his divinity. And thanks, Swami, very much. From where I was to where I am now, I did nothing in the last 42 odd years. Swami has done everything through me. So I give Baba all the praise and all the thanks. Loving sisters and brothers, thank you so much for listening to me. May Baba bless one and all of you and enjoy the rest of the Ramayan week. Sai Ram.
మీరు ఎక్కడ పోయినప్పటికీ నేను వెంట ఉన్నాను.
You may go anywhere, Bhagawan is with you.
మీకు ఏ విధమైనటువంటి బాధలు వచ్చినా నేను చూసుకుంటాను.
Bhagavan will take care of all your difficulties.
ధైర్యంతో దైవం యొక్క భావమును మీరు అభివృద్ధి పరచుకొని సేవల్లో పాల్గొనండి.
With all the courage and divine thoughts to serve the society.
కొన్ని నష్టములైనా కూడా పర్వాలేదు, మీరు సహించుకొని సేవలు మానుకోకుండా ఉండండి.
You may suffer certain losses but never give up service.
హ్యాపీ హ్యాపీ. ఏది హ్యాపీ?
We say happiness. What is that happiness?
జీవితంలో ఏది హ్యాపీ లేదు.
Nothing is happy in this
అంత
world.
అప్పటికప్పటికి వస్తుంది, అప్పటికప్పుడు అంత పాసింగ్ క్లౌడ్స్, పాసింగ్ క్లౌడ్స్.
Things come then and there itself and they pass on.
కానీ పర్మనెంట్ అనేటువంటి హ్యాపీ ఒక దైవత్వంతో మాత్రమే ఉంటుండాలి.
The permanent happiness is with God only.
ఇది హార్ట్ టు హార్ట్, లవ్ టు లవ్.
It is a connection heart to heart, love to love.
ఇదే మీరు పెంచుకోవాలి.
This you should develop.
ఇది మీ యొక్క నిజమైనటువంటి యొక్క భక్తి ప్రపత్తులకు సరైన నిదర్శనము.
This is the true proof of your devotion and sincerity.
స్వామి యొక్క ఆశీర్వాదములు అమితంగా ఉంటున్నాయి. మీరు సుఖంగా, శాంతిగా, ఆనందంగా భక్తి ప్రపత్తులతో జీవించి దేశానికి సరైనటువంటి యొక్క సేవలు చేయాలని నేను ఆశిస్తూ, ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని విమరిస్తున్నాను.
You have Bhagavan's blessings in abundance. Bhagavan wants you to lead a peaceful, happy, blissful life and grow in sincerity, devotion and steadfastness, and brings his divine discourse to a close.
Subri, for your words and for your words of wisdom and for sharing that deeply moving moment from 1975 of how a single photograph of Swami gifted to you became a turning point in your life. And even more profoundly, how Swami lovingly assured you, saying, I am alive in that photograph and guarding your family. And who could forget that remarkable moment of grace when, in a moment of earnestness, you challenged Swami to prove his presence, and that photograph started to blink his eyes. So thank you so much, Uncle Subri, for your experiences and your words of wisdom with us. It is now my honor to invite Sister Sonati Basjit to share her experience with all of us. Let us embrace her experience. And let us invite Sister Sonati to share her experience with us. Over to you, Sister Sonati. Thank you.
Loving Sai Ram, respectable elders, dearest sisters and brothers. I am Sunati Basjit from Mauritius. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and divine miracles of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Talking for Bhagwan Baba one day, one night, and maybe 1 week also is not enough. Today I will share the experience and miracles of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba when my husband was very sick. And we were at MIOT hospital in Chennai. When my husband was sick in Mauritius.
Sorry, Sister Sonati. Apologies for cutting you through. Please, can you put your camera? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Today I will share the experience and miracles of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba when my husband was very sick and we were at MIOT hospital in Chennai. When my husband was sick in Mauritius, doctor told me that my husband's health is very, very critical. Anything can happen anytime. I was very scared and I was just crying and crying. Then every day I started giving my husband vibhuti in his drinking water. Doctor has advised my husband to drink a lot of water. After some treatment in Mauritius, Mauritian doctor advised me to go to India, Chennai for my husband overseas treatment because they don't have the treatment in Mauritius. The treatment was bone marrow transplantation. 1 month before going to India, our Guru Ma, Sister Srimati Anita Narenji, has performed a Sai Kalpam Puja in our Bovalon Sai Center. That day, I was very attracted with Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba photo. I request our Guru Ma that I want to keep the photo. Even I had many photos of Bhagwan Baba at my place. When I was going to India for my husband treatment, I took the Baba photo in my luggage and then I put the Baba photo near my husband's head in India hospital. There also the doctor told me that my husband's health is very, very critical and anything can happen anytime. I was still scared, but always I had the faith in Bhagwan Baba. Very, very critical. But after the bone marrow transplantation, when the doctor team come to visit my husband after all tests done, they told me that a miracle had happened to my husband. Now my husband's health is stable and he is out of danger. All the doctors go in front of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba photo and told me my Bhagwan blessing is very, very powerful. Thank you. Thank you for all for listening to me. Thank you, Swami. Bhagwan Baba blessing upon you all. This is one of my experience and divine miracles of Bhagwan Baba. For me, that was a great experience. Jai Sai Ram.
But for living every single day. Moving on, it is now my pleasure to invite our next speaker, Brother Sunil Jewud. Brother Sunil has been a devotee in Bhagwan's divine fold for over 35 years. Over the course of his spiritual journey, he has held numerous significant leadership roles within the Sri Siti Sai organization, including Center President, Regional Devotional Coordinator, as well as Regional President. His long-standing commitment is a testament to the strength of his devotion and the depth of his faith. For Brother
done specifically by Swami himself. Swami don't want to see me. Swami don't want me to come to Parthi. And that day when I came home, I was very angry with Swami. So angry and so displeased with Swami. I did not want to talk to Swami because I knew very personally that he is the one who did not let me know. And I complained in front of Swami that you don't want me to come. The whole world is coming in Parthi. The whole world is coming at your feet, Swami. Why me only, Swami? What is there that you don't want to see me? So much displeased with Swami, so much, let's say, very down. So that night when I was sleeping, Swami came in my dream. He came in my dream. He told me, come with me. He just hold my hand. He made me sat just by his side. And Swami said, why do you want to come to Parthi? So I said, Swami, the whole world is coming to you. Why not me, Swami? Swami said, oh, it's all right. Okay, why do you want to come to Parthi? I want to know why you want to come to Parthi. This is why I have come to you today. So tell me why you want to come to Parthi. I just said, Swami, you know, Varun has got a job, Swami. You know, Varun is my son. So I said, Varun got a job, Swami. Swami said, yes, I know. And then I said, Swami, you know, Swami, my Shital also, my daughter, Shital also has got a job. Swami said, yes, I have just enrolled her there. And just because of me, that Shital has been appointed on this job. And I said, Swami, I have taken a new role in a new company. Swami said, yes, I know. And you, this is my blessing. You have gone there to this position just because of me. You listen to me. This is why you have been there. So then Swami said, we talked a lot about us, about me, about the organization. And Swami said, today you're not going to touch me. And tears was rolling from my eyes. I could not hardly talk to Swami. And I just took my both hands, my palm, I just touched Swami. And then I realized how soft Swami's cheeks are. When I touch his cheeks, then Swami, I said, Swami, can I touch your hand, Swami? Then Swami just brought his hand in front of me. I put my both palms on his palms. And then I asked Swami, can I touch your feet, Swami? Can I do Pada Namaskar? Then Swami, what he did, he just hold his clothes, and I just bend by my knee, and I just kiss Swami's feet. And that moment, brothers and sisters, I feel a heat coming from Swami, a very divine, something that I've never felt. It just came in me and rolling me and grasping me. And when I touch his feet, I want to kiss his feet. Swami said, now I have to go. Again, after next year, Swami took Mahasamadhi. And I was so crying when Swami left. I said, Swami, when you were alive, I never came to Parthi. And I will never come to Parthi again, Swami. And I promised Swami, I will never come. I will never put my feet in Parthi, Swami. But brothers and sisters, Swami's plays are different. In 2014, Swami called me in Parthi. And I went to Parthi in 2014. And unknowingly, unconsciously, I went there, you know, when, brothers and sisters, the day of Aradhana also. It is a very long story, but I don't have time. So I stop here. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Jai Sai.
Thank you so much, Brother Sunil, for sharing such meaningful insights, for sharing your divine encounter with Bhagavan, and how during your divine encounter, you had the opportunity to do Pada Namaskar and to feel the light and the love from Swami. The next part of our program will be gracefully carried out by Brother Yatish, who will introduce you to our upcoming speaker. Over to you, Brother Yatish. Saram.
My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Baba. Om Shri Sai Ram. Thank you very much, Brother Varun, for introducing such beautiful speakers from Mauritius and sharing their amazing experiences of direct interaction with Swami. I now have the pleasure of inviting Sister Venita Chetty to the call. Sister Venita hails from Newcastle in KwaZulu-Natal here in South Africa. And she is a Shiva devotee. Om Sai Ram, Sister Venita, how are you?
Om Sai Ram to one and all of you. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being willing to share your experiences this afternoon. If I could start off by asking you, how or when were you first introduced to Swami, or how did Swami make his presence known in your life? Could you share, please?
Okay. Sai Ram Yatish. It all happened, Swami has been in my life. It's a lifetime now. I was probably about 9 or 10 years old in the 1970s when I heard like the family talking about there is somebody and you keep a piece of roti and this roti will multiply. And, just hearing that, I had excitement and I kept the piece of roti and it did multiply. And from there, I just kept a picture of Swami, which was like a very young stage. And I made it into a little shrine in my room, into a wardrobe, into a cupboard. And I kept that going from the age of 9, 10 till about 18 when I left home. And I continued my normal prayer and, just having the picture. And when I left and went into college, I carried like a keyring size photo with me. And I was living in the hostel and I was still Swami was with me. And I had this huge miracle where Swami I went into Swami's service. And when I came out, someone asked me, "Oh, you must be a Sai devotee." And at that time, I didn't even know much. I just said, "No, I'm a Shiva devotee." And I came home and I see my whole little picture covered with ash. It was just covered up. And then hearing more about Swami's work and his teachings, then I thought, Swami, you're giving me a message that you are everything and, all is one. So ever since then, it's been, my journey with Swami, giving me all my lessons and challenges. And I did visit Swami in Puttaparthi in the 90s. I was praying, at that time I lived in Reservoir Hills in Durban, and we were close to having Swami services. And so I just felt the urge that I must go there and see Swami. And we went to the booking and said, you know what, I'm leaving. And then it was my whole family, my husband and children. We said, no, we all are going. So it just happened and we pitched up in Puttaparthi. It was the first India visit in the 90s. And we were living outside because we said we've got 2 children and, we'll just stay outside and just go in and visit the ashram and come out. And we stayed over 2 nights, went in, came out, and then somebody told us, Swami says, there's people living here from South Africa outside my home. They must come in and live with me. So we moved into the ashram and lived there. And I just felt I always had this thing talking to Swami and saying, show me a sign, give me an answer. And I said, Swami, we are here now, just show me that we are here. And I sat that day in front, and Swami walks right up to me, looking straight into my eye, and with a smirk comes there and allows me to take a good pardon, I was overjoyed. And next thing I turn and he says, no, there were 3 families from South Africa, you're all coming for the interview. So we had about half an hour with Swami, where he was blessing and talking about personal stuff that nobody else could have known but Swami himself, It was a profound experience. And ever since then, I've had Swami with me, but he has taken me on various journeys and challenges. And I think it was his way of showing me, to learn and carry on. And I reached at this point where I know all Swami's teachings has been implemented in my life, and he has shown me, the path. So it's been quite a profound experience.
That's amazing, Sister Venita, of how Swami entered your life, made his presence known to you again through a photo, through a pendant, and then invited you to come and see his physical form in Prashanti Nilayam. Blessed indeed.
That's it.
If I may ask, looking back, what purpose do you think Swami served in your life thus far?
I think he put, with the grace of Swami, I think he put me through various challenges and experiences and always questioned him. And I think he was present with me all the time. He was just putting me through this to make me understand his teachings better. The love all, serve all. And through all that experiences, and, it was not an easy road, but he was present there. And at this stage in my life, I can tell you that I really do feel Swami's teachings are like profound, and you have faith in him, and he's always with you, always.
Amazing. What purpose do you think his miracle served for you?
I think it's also like not only a draw card, but like showing you, that I am here. It's like qualifying the statement. If you have something in your mind and like you're doing this or saying that, and he comes in and he shows you, like, even he comes into my dreams, like it's like a kind of answer, that you have this question. And like Swami is like so present. I like have him on speed dial because anything I'll say, Swami, you sort it out. I'm asking you this question and answer me or do this. And in some form, it's been miraculous, Miracles have been ongoing on a daily basis. That I can say. These are big miracles, but they're small miracles every single day that, come across in life.
Beautifully stated. Beautifully stated. Swami has said that he has not come to create any new religion or any new path. He's come on this mission of love. His aim was to make a Christian a better Christian, a Muslim a better Muslim, a Hindu a better Hindu. Irrespective of the faith, irrespective of your beliefs, the avatar of the Kali Yuga came to direct all spiritual aspirants back on the path to mergence with divinity. Thank you so much, Venita. Thank you so much.
Namaskaram. Thank you so much.
Jai Sai Ram. I would now like to call upon our next devotee to the call, Sister Karina Chetty. Sister Karina, you may please put your video on and join the call. A little bit of background on Sister Karina is that she is a young adult and she's currently based in Durban in Mount Edgecombe. And she's currently pursuing her PhD studies and has also registered for the Young Adult Leadership Program in Prashanti. Sister Karina, are you able to put your video on? We can't see you. Can you hear us, Sister Karina? Sorry, just a second.
Sorry, just give me a second.
No problem. So, okay.
Sorry about that. Just give me a second, please. Can you see me?
I can see you. I can see you. Thank you very much. So, as we've introduced, you're based in Durban, in Mount Edgecombe. You're currently pursuing your PhD studies, and you are actually registered for our Young Adult Leadership Program in Prashanti that's coming up which culminates in July in Prashanti Nilayam. So,
Yes.
welcome to the call. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my story with everyone. So how I came into learning about Swami is through, I've been diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I found out this in 2019 when I was still a master's student. So in December 2019, the tumor has shown that it was 6.5 centimeters, and it had an cyst around it, which was another 6 centimeters. I'm not sure. I sent the picture of the scan to you yesterday. If you can please share it
I will share.
with the audience. Sorry, that's the new scan. It was the other scan. Yes, the scan. So as you can see, the tumor is 6.5 centimeters, and which is the solid mass, and then further that is the fluid. So it's called a cyst that covered the tumor. So all in all, the tumor was around the tumor together with the cyst was around 12 centimeters. And my cousin's husband, who came and visited me in the hospital, gave me vibhuti to drink in water, and it came in a blue packet, and he told me whichever devotee I believe in, I should think and pray on that devotee. At that time, because the sachet was in a blue packet, I thought it was from a Shiva temple. And then later on, I asked him about it, and he did confirm it's from a Shirdi Baba ashram he went when he visited India. So after that, I've been through 4 brain surgeries, and in 2023, the scan has shown, the tumor that I have can only be surgically operated on. And yes, this tumor here can only be surgically operated on. And chemo and radiation, yes, I did go for it. However, it's to stop the cells from growing. So I did go for chemo and radiation after the 3rd operation, and which I was severely upset about. You know, when you find out that you go for an operation and a brain operation, it's really stressful. And then to find out that you have to go for it again, it kept on resurfacing. It was really devastating on me. And plus, I was still so young at that time. I was 27 when I had to go for my 3rd operation. And when I found out about this, I was so upset. I was so stressed. I stressed myself out so badly that I actually had an epileptic attack in my room. And when my mother and sister came to assist me after having the seizure, all I can hear is my mother praying to Swami, and I don't know what happened, but I just regained consciousness. So I'm not sure if you're familiar when someone has an epileptic seizure, you have no control over your body. That's the best I can explain it. I had no control over my mind, over my body. I was just limp. So yes, so after my mother prayed to Swami, all I remember is I grabbed the toilet pan seat because I was in the bathroom at that time, and the door handle to the bathroom door. Then I went for 28 rigorous treatments of chemo and radiation. And fast forward to 2023, I was in remission, and the tumor did show that it's after numerous surgeries and chemo and radiation, it was now 2.7 centimeters by, it's 3 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters. And in last year, in May 2024, towards the end of May, I've had a dream of Swami touching my head as he touched my feet. And when I woke up, it felt so real, like I felt a pressure on my head. So fast track to November 2024, the scans do show that it has now decreased to 2.7 centimeters by 0.99 centimeters. And the scan, so I've uploaded the MRI report from the doctor. I'm not sure if Brother Yatish will be able to show it. Yes. So it does state on the report that it has noted that it's appearing to appearing marginally decreased when compared to the previous MRI scan that was done in 2023, in October 2023. So yes, so this is proof that the tumor is shrinking. It has decreased in size. Yes, so I do have faith in Swami, and I do believe Swami exists and his miracles are real. Previously, I did not believe. I lost all hope until Swami came into my dream and showed me that he is real. And sometimes, every time I look at Swami, it's like he's telling me, he's talking and telling me that he's always there for me, and I mustn't be afraid. I must just have faith and hope. Sairam.
That's absolutely amazing, Sister Karina, and you know, backed by the medical evidence which supports every single thing that you've said. If I could, just as a final question, what does Swami represent to you now in your life? And what is the next step of your journey?
So Swami represents wisdom, hope, faith, and that he'll never leave me. Sometimes I'll just be walking past and it's like he's communicating to me. It's like a feeling that he's telling me that he's always there for me. I should not give up hope. And after joining the youth program and Balvikas, I have joined the SADAC, which is a suicide watch on campus. So it's suicide, depression, students with students and the public at large with mental health issues. And I've also joined the peer education group, which is the HIV and AIDS program. So yes, I'm also volunteering to be a peer educator as well. And what's moving forward, I'm planning to be a SADAC and disability unit peer educator on campus. So it'll be the first peer educator for students with disability and a suicidal help program. Basically, that's what I can say.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sister Karina. Swami has given you a miracle of extending your life and healing you, at least starting the healing process. And in return, you are dedicating your life to serving Swami, learning more about young adults, becoming a Balvika's guru, and hopefully sharing the healing grace and sharing the light that Swami has given you with your peers going forward. We pray that your healing journey may continue and that your future endeavors be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Brother Varun, over to you.
Thank you so much, Brother Yatish, and thank you so much, dear sister, for those uplifting experiences and reflections. It is now my joy to introduce our next speaker to you, Brother Dipesh Gauria from Mauritius. At the age of just 28 years, Brother Dipesh already started to walk a beautiful path of service and devotion. Brother Dipesh currently serves as customer service representative at the Mauritius Commercial Bank. His journey with Sri Sathya Sai organization began in 2011 through a Grama Seva project initiated by the Sri Sathya Sai Center of Mount Albert, an experience that ignited a lifelong connection with Swami. As a proud graduate of the Sri Sathya Sai Young Adults Leadership and Self-Transformation Program of 2024, Brother Dipesh is also a dedicated and a committed SSC guru. He currently serves as the Young Adult Coordinator at center level and also holds the responsibility of the Regional Secretary. Let us now welcome Brother Dipesh as he shares his reflection on his journey with our dearest and sweetest Bhagawan. Over to you, Brother Dipesh. Sairam.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagawan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. In early 2024, I had a profound experience that I truly believe was a result of Swami's divine grace. One evening, after work, I was watching the Srimad Ramayana on Sony TV. Normally, my family and I watch it together. But that day, we had already seen the episode, and I found myself watching it alone. The episode showed the meeting between Lord Rama and his devoted follower, Mother Subri. That moment was so beautiful, blissful, and emotional that I couldn't hold back my tears. Still feeling deeply moved, I looked at Swami's picture and said, "Oh Rama, how fortunate Mother Subri is to have had you walk all that way to meet her. When will I have to get your darshan, Rama?" This was in March 2024. Fast forward to May 2024. After attending the Ishwaramadi celebrations at center level, I received a message on WhatsApp from a mentor from YELST 2023. He asked me the following: Sai Ram Brother Deepesh, I hope you are doing well by Swami's grace. Could you please confirm if you will be attending the GYAC? You know, the international youth will be presenting a drama, and I wanted to know if you would be interested in participating. However, there are only 2 roles left, 2 female roles. The first one is Coffee Pudi Sakama, an ardent devotee of Swami, and the second one is Mother Subri. At first, I was hesitant to take on a female role, but then I realized that this was Swami's message to me. I felt he was guiding me to accept the role of Mother Subri, and I agreed to it and found myself performing in Sai Kulwat Hall. The lesson here is that when we surrender ourselves to the divine, no matter how big or small our desires may seem, Swami works in mysterious ways to bring us closer to our highest spiritual purpose. This experience was a reminder of his omnipresence. He is always working behind the scenes, guiding us, even when we are unaware of his plans. Trusting his plan and having faith in his divine timing is the key. This story shows us that the answers to our prayers may come in unexpected ways, and through his grace, we are led to opportunities that allow us to grow spiritually. Swami is always with us, guiding us, even when we don't fully understand his ways, but always for our highest good. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, Brother Dipesh, for your deeply moving and heartfelt sharing. Your journey is a powerful reminder to how Swami's boundless love can guide, can transform, and can uplift every moment of our lives, especially when we walk the path with sincerity, with faith, and with surrender. Your reflection on watching the Ramayana episode and being deeply touched by the story of Mother Subri was profoundly inspiring. And the way you connected with her, unwavering devotion and simplicity touched all our hearts. And it is truly beautiful how Swami, in his divine way, responded to that inner yearning by bestowing upon you the opportunity to embody Mother Shabri on stage during a drama in the sacred Sai Kulwant Hall itself. What a touching reminder that Swami listens to the silent prayers of our hearts, and how, when our devotion is true and when our intentions are pure, he orchestrates the perfect opportunities. So, brothers and sisters, I hope you're enjoying this program so far. And as we take a moment to absorb the wisdom shared so far, let us now turn our attention to a short video clipping featuring the divine words of our Master, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. May his message continue to stir our hearts and remind us of the eternal truth, that He's always with us, He's always guiding us, and blessing us. Following this divine moment, Auntie Prema will lovingly take us forward into the next segment of our program. Let us now tune in to Swami's divine message. Sairam.
And that is why all of those small incidents when Swami was saying, don't go away, I will miss you if you will go away. When we sing bhajans, we sing Bhava Tita, Bhava Gochara. He's beyond all Bhava. Why did he cry like that? Why should he do all that drama? Because he wanted us to understand that he loves and he cares, and even when he doesn't give, he gives because he loves and he cares. How will that surrender come? How will we get that surrender? It can be got only by what Swami says, Shravanam. Keep listening, keep listening. When you constantly listen to all of these stories, it emphasizes to our minds that Swami can cure any problem, solve any problem, remove any pain. When we constantly listen to these stories, we understand that Swami cares and Swami loves. And tomorrow if we have a problem, and if there is a solution not forthcoming from Swami, we have to tell ourselves, he can, he cares, he loves, but he chooses not to solve this problem. So we accept. This boy was suffering from some jaundice or typhoid or something. He could not come for darshan for a few days. Swami just comes up to him, standing there, and this boy gets up, little sympathy, grace you will get, right? So he got up and very pathetically and very sadly he told Swami, I'm having jaundice. Swami says, Atlana, is that so? Chala santosham, Swami says. For a moment this boy is saying, what is this, Swami? I thought there'll be some sympathy, some compassion. Swami is saying, Chala santosham. And Swami walks away. See, this contemplation only comes with God's grace. This boy goes back to the hostel and he says, why did Swami tell Chala Santosham? This is not very right. And then he starts thinking, see, whatever we do, we go stand in the sun and do sports meet, we go and sing bhajans, we do this, we do that, we clean our toilets, we do the sweep there, do gram seva. Why do we do all of this? It is to please Swami, right? So he said, if I am having a problem and Swami is saying I'm happy about it, why should I be sad about it? I think that is surrender.
My loving pranams at the lotus feet of our loving Lord, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Embodiments of love, Om Sri Sai Ram. Next to share an experience this evening is a very dedicated and committed devotee. He has held positions in the North Coast in KZN, South Africa. I happen to have worked closely with him on center and regional level. He is very passionate and has a love for seva. Sometimes we always say seva begins at home first. But with brother, it's not so. He always says, I will do Swami's work and he will take care to do my work. He has been an ex-educator, has all the time now for seva and does so diligently. He has, ascended to Swami as a true devotee. He has visited Prashanti a few times and has had blessed and lovely experiences. He has a good sense of humor and has two lovely boys and has lovely parenting skills. Has brought the boys into the Sai fold. They are lovely, actively involved in the youth wing in Gauteng. Today, I now hand you over to Brother Charles from the North Coast, KZN, South Africa. Brother Charles, if you could share how Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has touched you. Jai Taram.
My humble pranam at the lotus feet of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Om Sai Ram, embodiments of love. My Sai journey started in 1990. My sister in Chatsworth was hosting a Sai satsang as a son was at cancer. After satsang, I gave an uncle a lift to Havenside, which is Unit 1 in Chatsworth. At the home, he offered us some vibhuti and some penance. And one of these penance came to my rescue later. As a family, we came together and decided to attend satsang, but it was at a small gathering in the Coniston area where I was originally born and brought up. In the meantime, my neighbor was taking her children for Balvikas, and they willingly took our children also to Balvikas. And our children taught us the mantras later on. Come the 27th of April 1993, at around 6 p.m., I made a trip into the Verulam town to purchase some cool drinks. I was at a robot and was about to turn right, but a taxi from the opposite direction came through a red light and hit the passenger side of my car. Now, normally I will take my children with me, but I'm sure it was a blessing of Bhagawan Baba that they did not accompany me on this trip because they would have been on the passenger side. My car was dragged about 3 meters and came to a standstill at the pavement. I received some medical attention and was able to drive the damaged car back to my home. The following morning, my mother-in-law visited me and she looked at the car in the garage and brought to my attention a pennant hanging with plastic, and it was that of Swami. So it is to the grace and love of our beloved Bhagawan Baba that I came out of this serious accident without a scratch. Thank you, Swami. In 1994, I assumed the HOD position in Gauteng. Now, from the day of the accident till March of 1994, I did not have any form of transport. But Swami made it happen through the goodwill of friends and family for me to be transported to my place of employment, as well as to do purchases. And in those days, we could not engage an Uber service, unlike today. I returned from Gauteng, and in 1995, we started attending satsang at the Sri Sathya Sai Center of Temple Valley. In 1998, there was an urge for us to attend or visit Prashanti Nilayam. So we made the trip in 1998, June, July. And in Prashanti, it was my first visit. It was my wife Mano's second visit. And my son, the youngest one, Taveshan, was chosen to take part in a play which was being hosted by Malaysia. And my son and I were fortunate to be seated in the row where Swami had offered us vibhuti. We returned to South Africa, and I became the president or chairperson at that time of the Temple Valley Sai Center. And I occupied other positions as the years went on, and also occupied regional positions till I finished off as the regional president of the North Coast region in 2023. Then in 2000, we were fortunate again and to be blessed by the Lord to make our second trip as a family to Prashanti Nilayam. We came back, and it is only through the loving grace and love, or the unconditional love of our Lord, that we were able to make 2 trips as a family to Prashanti Nilayam in the space of 2 years on a single educator's salary. Now, dear brothers and sisters, for me, it's a real miracle, as the times were difficult in terms of the earning for the household. I am truly thankful to our beloved Bhagawan Baba for all the blessings and for holding me on this spiritual path. Although I came to know of Swami in 1990, I know and truly believe that Baba has seen me through my tough times and made my education experience of 38 years a real experience, a real pleasure. I also want to place on thanks to my parents for their lovely upbringing, to my lovely wife Mano, my 2 sons Oveshlan and Taveshan, to my daughters-in-law, to my family, and to all the devotees that have supported me on my spiritual journey. As mentioned, I love my seva activities and am currently a Sai aspirant with the Sri Sathya Sai Center of Shlanga. This has been a truly revealing experience for me, being blessed by Swami and getting involved in the Sai activities. That firm faith and devotion that we have will take us a long way. The company we keep is very, very important. It will help us, the good company, the satsang that we keep on our spiritual journey. I take this opportunity of thanking the organizers, thanking each and every one of you, and wish you all the best on your spiritual journey. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you, Brother Charles, for having that lovely share with us. Being a person that has so much of love and dedication to Swami really shows through you. And your visits to Prashanti was all ordained by Swami. When Swami says, even a leaf will not move without my will. So you've been willed by Swami to make these trips. Do carry on with the work that you are doing in the Sai fold. Thank you so much for sharing, Sai Ram. Next, we have a loving sister who is very dedicated in her Sai fold. She has been in the organization and has held various positions on center and on regional level, has worked close with me in the Ladies Forum. I had an interview with one of her visits to Prashanti with few of the other South Africans. She is Sister Kay Naidu from Chatsworth, Region 1, South Africa. Sister, we would love to hear you share your journey with Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Kamala, please do come on.
Om Saram to all. I pray you're all are well. My journey to Swami began on Ganesha Chaturthi in 1994 in the Sudha Mandir in Chatsworth. When one of my beloved... Madam?
Sairam, Sister Kamla, to go on.
Sorry, I thought it was okay. My journey to Swami began on Ganesha Chaturthi in 1994 in Sudha Mandir in Chatsworth, when one of my friends invited me to this auspicious prayer. As Swami says, you take the first step and I will take the rest. And I loved the saying of Swami. As my Sai journey progressed, I was blessed to go on my first pilgrimage to Swami in 1994. It was during this pilgrimage that Swami has graced South Africans with an interview. And now I will share with you my sweet memories of my interview with Swami. On the 12th December 1994, during the afternoon darshan, South Africans were called for an interview. Swami asked us to come into the interview room. Swami materialized Vibhuti for all of us. Swami granted us pardon. And I must say, it was so peaceful in that interview room. Swami graced each one of us and made sure we were comfortable. Then Swami called us South Africans into the interview room. The first question Swami asked me is, how is my husband? And I began, Swami, I thank him and, telling all the good things about him. Then I stopped and said, sorry, Swami, I thank you for granting me this pilgrimage. Then my question to Swami was, Swami, I want to be a Balvikas teacher. Swami said, very, very happy. You know no complaining, you're explaining teacher. Then I asked Swami about my children, and Swami said, all Balvikas children have very good future. So this Swami's test are not only for myself or my kids, but he said all Balvikas kids have very good future. This brings us to the point that the importance of Balvikas and our kids to attend to Balvikas. And I have been to Swami many times and still going to our peaceful abode, Prashanti Nilayam. The next experience I will share with you is Swami Samadhi. I always pray to Swami, Swami, if anything happens to you, I must be there. Lo and behold, Swami, as always, fulfills our wishes. I just came from Prashanti Nilayam in January 2011. And there in April, we had to go back to Swami. Lo and behold, within 25 minutes, everything was in place for me to make my trip to Swami. And I just remember being in this flight, all saddened, but we're going to our beautiful abode of Swami. And when we arrived, we were given time to file past Swami, but as we were traveling to Prashanti, we were told 9 o'clock is cut-off time. But the taxi driver said, do not worry, sister. It's been extended to 12 o'clock. And we reached Prashanti, had a quick shower, and I must tell you, Swami had chosen this beautiful lodge for me because everything was closed, everything was fully packed. And we got into the lodge, quickly showered, and we were ready but we couldn't get near to the to Prashanti right at we had to walk from Chitravati and go in. So we filed through Swami more than 5 times, in, out, and right till 12 o'clock. And it was so gracefully granted to Swami, by Swami to us, to me, to make sure that what I wanted, he had granted to me. And then late at night in the mandir, they announced that tomorrow all devotees can attend Swami Samadhi. So we left. Next morning, we got up very early, and we in this lodge. I was standing out because one of my friends, that she was a diabetic patient, so she had to go in to have something to drink, eat at the dining hall, and I was standing in front waiting for her to come through. And a white Fortuner stopped in, and he said he's going to going to near close to the ashram, and will come. I said, my friend is just waiting, having something to eat, and will come. And that was sent by Swami for us not to walk a great distance, and we were graced for that. Filing into, again that morning, it was chaotic. The gates were just a small squeeze we can get in, and we were graced to go into the cycle, but all seated ourselves throughout Swami's Samadhi procession, and then we were ended in at the end Vibhuti. And I must say, Swami has graced me many a times, and I love Swami, and I know that Swami will always take care not only of me and my family, but the entire world. And I like to conclude with always Swami saying that we have to practice and have that Swami's teachings and have that firm faith. Swami will walk with us hand in hand. Swami is saying, I quote, simple living, high thinking. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sister Kamla. Thank you for that share. It's been beautiful. Swami has prepared us over many births to come into his fold. You're one of those fortunate ones. And also, the yearning has to be very, very faithful to Swami. And when it comes from the bottom of your heart, Swami is sure to please you with your desires and your wants. So here, these are the experiences that have been shared by our lovely parents that have come on. So thank you for inspiring us and motivating us with this. And I'm sure you are still very, very actively involved in the organization. And if you are a Bhagavika Guru, please go ahead and carry on, as that was mentioned by Swami. Thank you so much for that. Sai Ram, I now hand you over to Brother Yatish.
Om Sai Ram. Thank you very much, Auntie Prema and Uncle Charles and Auntie Kamla, for your beautiful experiences. I now have the pleasure of welcoming Sister Annie Mandri to the call. Sister Annie, you may please join and turn on your video and unmute. Sister Annie is formerly from KZN, but recently, but however, we are blessed here in Gauteng because she shares the province with us nowadays. She's a nurse by profession, and she has held numerous positions in the Sai organization over the years, including ladies coordinator, center chairperson, and is currently part of our national medical team here in Gauteng. Welcome, Sister Annie. How are you?
I'm good. Om Sai Ram, dear brothers and sisters. It is the most beautiful experience to be able to listen to all of this most outstanding experiences.
Thank you so much, Sister Annie. Could you start by telling us how were you first introduced to Swami?
So I was about 7 years old, and this is in 1971. 7 years old, and the neighbors, I was hearing bhajans playing at our neighbor's house. We were staying in a block of flats. And Om Sai Ram. So, yes. So, staying at the block of flats, I heard the neighbors playing bhajans, and I just told my mum that I needed to go and listen to these bhajans. And eventually, I heard the bhajans. I was part of the center of my neighbors, and she taught me how to play the talams. And my first bhajan that I sang was Manasa Bhajare. So, that is how I was introduced. And then obviously it was my mum who actually, like one of the other devotees mentioned about the bread that you would put. My dad didn't allow my mum to actually put out this, and thought that Swami was obviously this person walking and should not be prayed to. And my mum used to do this outside, and she had multiple breads just growing and giving it to everybody. And yeah, so that was my introduction to Swami. But as we all do, or most of us do, and I was one of them, I tend to have taken a step back. And then, like Swami says, once he's got hold of you, he never lets you go. So obviously, Swami still had his hand on me. And in 1989, I was about 25 years old. And my sister brought me back to Swami by saying to me that there's this bhajans happening in the only Sai Center that we had in Johannesburg, which was the Johannesburg Sai Center. And I'm still part of that, yes. Yes, Aaron.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sister Annie. I think like most of us, we were drawn to the bhajans, Sai bhajans. We were drawn to Swami through the medium of bhajans. In your journey with Swami thus far, is there any particular incident that was particularly meaningful for you that you would like to share?
There's, Brother Yatish, I've actually mentioned to you one incident that really might not sound as profound as a lot of the other devotees have mentioned. But I just want to mention first, my first experience that I've had was with my mum. My mum was diagnosed with cancer in 1995. And being an ardent devotee of Swami, she, being diagnosed with cancer of the esophagus, like you've just said, I am a nurse. So, you get this that, okay, there's a death sentence. It's in 6 months, you did. That's the thing for cancer of the esophagus. And my mum actually only passed away 13 years later. And that was from us praying to Swami, her praying, her faith, and going through and insisted that we actually go for her to thank Swami for getting her better. And she did not die of cancer. She actually died at the age of 73 from just, progression of your life. You die from old age, that kind of thing. So that was the one incident. And that just took me to Swami full on. But when I went in 2009, I went to Prashanti for, I think it was the third time that I was going to Prashanti, and I'd never joined the choir before. And this time I said, my cousin was also there and my sister-in-law, and I said, let's join the choir, which I did. And, not having the most beautiful voice, but, my daughter was there, and we decided, okay, we're all going to join the choir. But obviously, when you're not so good at your voices, you become an alto and you get pushed a little bit in the back. And when we all got to I would say, perform on that day to Swami, I was pushed right in the back. And I was like so upset. And I was crying like an absolute baby. I said to Swami, and I was having this big fight with Swami, saying to him, you don't want to hear my voice, you don't want to hear me sing to you. I've been practicing, it was so beautiful, all these practices. Now when we come to the end of it, where I've now got to sing to you and you just don't want to hear my voice. And then my cousin was watching me crying, and she thought, okay, you know what? It's from me being hurt the previous day, and that's why I was crying. But obviously, I'm just like, howling to Swami. And then I said to Swami afterwards, okay, I am going to sing my heart out to you. Whether you like it or not, you're going to hear me, And there we started, and I just cried and I sang, and I still cried, but just sang my heart out. And when we were done, there was the Severdals. Now, being in the Christmas, you get the Westerners that are the Severdals. So she was sitting next to me, and she turned around to me and she said, Swami heard every word of the songs you have sung. You have sung your heart out, and Swami has heard you. Every single word. Then I was now like dumbfounded. I turned to my cousin and I want to show them, this is what this lady said to me. And I get to my cousin and I turned around to see the lady, and there is nobody there. I looked all over and I just couldn't find her. And that was just the most amazing experience for me. That just made me say, you know what, Swami, you are there. You are there with every breath that I take, with everything that I do. You are there for me. That's my experience.
Thank you very much, Sister Annie. Again, another experience confirming Swami's omnipresence. He hears and sees all. Thank you so much. In the last 15 seconds, is there anything that you would like to share with the listeners or the viewers on this call that you think could assist them in their own spiritual journey?
Swami says we always want to ask, always asking of Swami. We always do that. And when we are okay, then we tend to forget about Swami. But my thing is, it's not what Swami can do for you, but what you can do to make sure that Swami is there with you every minute of every day, all the time. It's what can you do? The Namasmarma, everything, your sevas and everything. What can you do to remember Swami every minute of every day?
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Sister Annie, for sharing your beautiful experiences and those precious words of wisdom right now. I now have the pleasure of calling upon Sister Roshni Pillay. She's also based in Gauteng here with us. She was from KZN. And Sister Roshni is our Sri Sathya Sai Education Coordinator for South Africa. Welcome, Sister Roshni. How are you?
Om Sai Ram, Brother Yatish. I'm good, thanks, and you?
Well, thank you. Of course, we are saving the best for almost last. So thank you so much. I'm sorry for the wait. Sister Roshni, could you tell us a little bit about how you came to know about Swami and how you came into the Sai fold?
Offering my pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved Lord, Master and Guide, Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Om Shri Sai Ram, dear viewers. I think for me, I wasn't as fortunate as many, as I was not born or raised in a family who were Sai devotees. We were more involved in the spiritual path parts like the Hare Krishna, Divine Life, and the Sangam services. And it was during my matric year when I visited a friend. I saw her mum place black tea and roti to a photograph in their shrine. Curious to know who that man was, I questioned what she was doing. And then my friend's mom said, no, that was Sai Baba. And we prayed to him on a Thursday. And this is how we worship, by offering the black tea and roti. I mean, my curiosity wasn't, dealt with, but I accepted that. And as I was leaving, her mom gifted me with a black and white photo frame of Swami. So I took that home, and my mom and dad asked me, who's that? And I told them, this is Sai Baba. And my father said to me, but we don't pray to that man. Why did you bring it here? I ignored him, and I placed the photo at our altar. And I started worshiping or praying to this frame or to the photo, not knowing much about who the person was in that picture. And I think I started to then observe a non-veg diet every Thursday. So still being in school, and I had a very strict dad, I think months later, I was yearning to attend the service that was held at Cool Air, but my dad refused. And he said that I would go with my mom to the Sangam service. And obviously, we obeyed. And after I matriculated and I went to college, in 1993, I was offered to teach at the Cool Air Secondary School where I schooled. And I was doing the grade 2s. And then I gathered this more yearning, and I said, I'm now earning a salary, and I'm going to tell my dad that I want to go to service. And I approached him and I told him I would like to join the Sai service. Surprisingly enough, he didn't disagree, and he told me it was fine. So I started to join the Thursday service. Few months into this, the chairperson of the center approached me and asked me if I would like to assist with Bhavikas. It's a very small, close-knit family. But I was very reluctant because I'm very new to this path. I didn't know much about Sai Baba. Neither did I know what Bhavikas was about. I wasn't even exposed to it. So I said no. And then he constantly, nagged me and asked me about this. And the second time around, he handed me 3 manuals. And that was the blue, the yellow, and the pink manuals. And he said to me, all my answers lie in this book. So I looked at the book and I looked at him, and then I said, okay, I will take on this challenge. And I did. Not knowing about Bhavikas or about Swami, I delved and dived deep into teaching this wonderful program. So, knowing Bhavikas, and I had like 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, they were very, inquisitive minds, and there was always questions. Now, in a class, and coming from a secular background, you cannot show your children that you don't know these answers. So I would blurt out the answers, and I used to be nervous, but I never used to let that show. So when I got home, I'll quickly flip through the manuals. Lo and behold, the answers that I had given the children were exactly what was in the manuals. And this was the first realization that Swami worked through me as his instrument. So that was my journey. And 32 years later, I am still very passionate about the Bhavikas program.
Beautiful experience, Sister Roshni, a beautiful lifelong experience where basically Swami has called you into this profession of being a guru. So you can share his wisdom with all our young minds. Thank you so much. We are running a bit out of time. So if I could ask Sister Roshni, is there any words of wisdom that you would like to share with everyone on this call that has been particularly meaningful to you?
Thank you, Brother Yatish. I think definitely seeing that how Swami worked through me and only being in the organization for 3 months, and I was teaching the value of nonviolence. Later that evening, I questioned myself and said to Swami, here I am as a teacher or a guru, telling the children about nonviolence. Here I am participating in a violent act, which was eating non-vegetarian food. I then placed my plea to Swami and asked him to help me get rid of this bad habit. And yes, Swami did. Within 2 months, I had given up the non-vegetarian food. So to all the gurus out there, nothing is impossible if you surrender wholeheartedly to the beloved Lord. He takes care of everything.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Sister Roshni. And for those that do know you, we know that nothing is impossible to you with Swami operating through you. Thank you very much, Sister Roshni. Auntie Prema, back to you.
Sarah, a very ardent and dedicated devotee to Swami, who has had numerous health challenges, and the doctors had given her just 3 months to live in the early 90s. Here she is, blessed by His grace and still with us. She has held many leadership positions in South Africa, was responsible for forming the Ladies Forum in South Africa. She has motivated and inspired me and many other devotees. She is an epitome of motherhood who has been an advisor and with so much of love and humility. She was instrumental in taking South Africa to perform in Prashanti in 2009, 2010, and 2015. She was involved in the Ishwarama Trust, worked very closely with the Mahila team in India. She had introduced the Mother and Child program to South Africa, was also in the World Conference in 2017, and had met many overseas leaders from the organization globally. I now welcome Sister Savi Ramla to share her experience and her journey with Sri Sai Baba. Sister Savi Ramla.
I offer most humble salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Om Sai Ram, dear Sai family. It's such a pleasure to be here today amongst my family. I also would like to offer my most humble gratitude at the lotus feet of my beloved Swami for giving me this gift of life. And from 1997, he had helped me right through the way with many health challenges till today. I say thank you, Swami, for taking care of me, for nurturing me, and bringing me here today. In 1997, I started off in the organization in 1987, started with being a center chair, a regional chair, the vice president, and then the president in 2010. In 1997, I had been to Prashanti and I'd had an interview. And when we went into the interview room, and that's a long, episode of the interview, but I'm just going to go give you the salient points. Went into the interview room, and in somehow I happened to be right at the back at the door. It was a very small room. Those who had an interview know about it. And I stood at the back and I looked at Swami and I thought, oh, Swami, I'm so far away. And then he asked everyone to stand up. He said, this is a small room. We all need to sit closely. And as I looked at him, he nodded. I went right to the front and sat near his lotus feet. During the interview, Swami did something which was so amazing that when I sat, he stepped on my feet. And I told him, sorry, Swami, in my mother tongue, Tapu Swami. And I pulled my feet back. And he came forward and stood again. And I had no idea as to why he'd done that. But last year, 2024, I was reading one of the books, and there, one of the devotees was explaining her experience. She said that she was in the cycle one fall in the mandir. Swami, she was sitting in the front, and Swami stepped on her feet, and she wondered why also. And as she was going out, some of the leaders from Prashanti said, "You are so lucky." And she also had a very terminal illness. He said, "Swami steps on your feet. It gives you another life. It lengthens your life." And I only came to know that last year when I read the book. I was diagnosed in 1997. 28 years later, I'm still here. And at that time, the doctors, I had leukemia, and your white blood count must be between 4,000 to 11. I was beyond medical care. It was 369,000. And they said I had left it for too long, but I think I'd had it for quite some time. And during that time, beloved Lord had sustained me. And just to go back how I came into the organization, no one told me about Swami. I had never seen him. I was a staunch Shiva devotee, belonged to the Krishna Center. I served under Swami Nishlananda. And then when I got married, I said, I'd really like to go back to service. And we had decided to go back to Ramakrishna. That night, one day, Bhagawan Shree Sai Baba came into my dream, and I dreamt I was going to work. And a lady, very beautifully dressed in white, said, "Come, I'll take you a short away." And I said, No, my mother told not to take shortcuts. So I said, "No, I will go. I know how to go." She says, "No, you've been going the wrong way." She takes me on an open landing. I see this Swami sitting there with a staff in his hand. And when she said, "I've brought her." And he said, "Ha, you've come. So I see you've come." He asked, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "No, I have no idea who you are." He said, "Look into my eyes." And I looked into Swami's eyes, and I saw myself with him in my previous life. And that's how I started the organization. The next day, Annie told me, "You are sleeping now. And from when you wake up, the next day, you will know me and only me." And that's exactly what has happened. To me, Swami is my everything, is my God, is my Guru, is my guide. And the next day, it so happened that at work, I needed an assistant. And I called somebody, and lo and behold, she happened to be a Sai devotee. And I told her about the dream, and she took me to a house and showed me one of Swami's picture. And I said, "No, that's not him. That's not who I dreamt of." The next day was a Wednesday. The following day was a Wednesday. And I was doing yoga. And on the air, believe me, I heard, "If anyone wants to know about Sai, please call 411-328. I'll never forget that number of 411-328. I dialed that number, and Mr. Patha, I'm sure lots of you know him, he answered the phone, and he said, I said, "Do you know anything about Sai Baba?" He said, "Yes, we run a set here." He said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Nothing." And he said, "You must give me his address," and I went there. When I went there, I saw Swami's picture. And to me, it is his white picture with his white robe. To me, he was standing on a program. But when I went near, no, it was a carpet that he was standing on. And on the side was Siddhi Baba's photo. And I said, no, I'm so sorry, I've got the wrong place. This is not whom I dreamt of. And when I looked at the side, it showed me Siddhi Baba's picture. And I said, that's the one I've called. And he said, no, he's Sai. And at that stage, I couldn't understand what Mr. Bhatta was telling me, really. He says they are the same. And I thought, how can this man who is old and this man who is young be the same. But I learned very, very fast. I learned very fast that they are one of the same. Swami is a reincarnation of Shirdi Sai Baba. Within 3 months of joining the organization, Swami came to me, and Swami used to call me Savi. And he said, Savi, you will make a very good Balvikas Guru. And I got up and I said, Swami, I don't know what's Balvikas, because I joined Amshatazana and I came into Reservoir Center. And that was a beautiful story for some other time where Swami introduced me to somebody and got someone to come and fetch me and take me to the refresher course. Going back to the cancer, on the 15th of October, I came back from Shanti and I went to the doctors. And my doctor looked at me and he told me, "You're looking very pale, Sabi, what's happening?" I said, "I've just come from India and I think there's some virus." He said, "Let's do a blood test." We did a blood test and that's when they found that white blood cells was 369,000 instead of 4,000 to 11,000. He said, "We have to put you in hospital." And he said the best hematology is the King Edward Hospital. I was admitted on the 5th of October. And on that particular day was Shirdi Sai Samadhi. I was very sad because at every Shirdi Sai Samadhi, I would cook and I would do all the things and offer to Shirdi Sai Baba. And the doctor came, he was Dr. Deda, and the lab assistant, and they said they're going to do a bone marrow. And you must know this is years ago, now with medical advancement, it's not so bad now. So I had no idea what a marrow transplant was. And they take like a staple, like use needle, they inject you by your hip and they put out the bone marrow to see how far the cancer is. They came, they gave me an injection, didn't wait for it to take effect, and he injected me. I gave a blood-curdling sound. That next door was a professor, Dr. McDonald. The next day he came and asked me, he says, "What happened?" And I told him. And on the side of my bedside was a cabinet. On the cabinet, I had a picture of Baba, our beloved Swami. As I screamed, the picture rose. It circled, and in a haze of vibhuti, an orange figure came, touched my forehead, and I went off to sleep. And I did the bone marrow transplant. When he came back, after a while, he came back and he asked me, "Who is that?" Pointed to Swami's picture on my cabinet. I said, "That's my master, my God, my Guru." He says, "I've never seen anything like that." And as I was going under, I heard him telling the lab assistant, "Veins are collapsing. Please take care." And that's all I knew. Even there, he came all the way from India with the cry of his devotee. Just one cry. When I cried, I just said, "Swami." I screamed with all my might for him, my father, to come to me. And he was there in an instant. He was there by my bedside to put me off, which the doctors couldn't do. I'm ever so grateful for him. And that time I was only about 46 years. And now I'm 75. He brought me such a long way. And many health challenges after that also. And in the early stages of Swami, the most beautiful thing that happened to me, I feel I need to mention this. You know, when you newly come into Swami, it's Swami, Swami, Swami. Everything is Swami. And we had a little garden outside. I cut some marigold flowers, took it to my puja room, and I put it by Swami's lotus feet, and I was praying. And when I finished, and on that particular day, I was lighting agarbatti, just taking it to the flame, and it lit on its own. When I finished my chanting and prayer, when I looked down, I couldn't find the marigolds. And dear sisters and brothers, the most beautiful thing, it was so emotional that this Lord can do these things for his devotee. And he always said, my miracles are my calling card. And when I looked down, I was sitting in art. He had taken all the marigolds, he had formed it into a beautiful hut, and I was sitting inside. You know, and I think of all this now, I'm in bad health, and I think of all these things, and I feel so loved by him, so covered in his grace, that these are the things that bring me forward. And in 2000, later after that, in 2002, I had this polymastitis under my arms, very, very painful. And I went to the doctors, the same doctor that gave me the message that I had leukemia. I went to him and he said, no, it's very painful. And now that you've got leukemia, it's going to be very difficult for us to give you a lot of anesthetic because you haven't healed it. And it was a Wednesday, and he said on the Thursday, he's booking me in for an operation. Then I said, it's fine. He says, not to worry, we will do it. We will do it to the best of our ability. Came home, and I obviously, you know, we all are guilty of this. We fight with Swami. And I said, Swami, what is this, Swami? Now, leukemia, now this is, you know, it's too much and it's very painful. And I've prayed to you, I have called to you, I have yearned for you, you still haven't come. So tomorrow I'm going for the operation, and please, Swami, be there for me. All the times that I've been through the illnesses, I've never asked Swami to take pain away. I know I'm working through my karma. And at night, I dreamt I'm going to the satsang to one of my very good family home. When I went there and I saw Swami is giving darshan. And I said, how beautiful Swami is here. So he saw me and he said, come here. I went to him, he asked me, do you chant the Gayatri mantra? And I said, yes, Swami. He said, no. Now, my chanting of the Gayatri mantra was 3 times in the morning, very hurriedly and to. He said, no. And that's not the way you chant it. And he sat on the ground and he said, come here. And I was opening my shoes and he says, you're delaying again. Come here. So I went next to Swami, and he most beautifully, in his most beautiful voice, he chanted the Gayatri mantra for me. And he told me, this is how you chant the Gayatri mantra, not 3 times hurriedly in the morning. So that goes to show he knows everything, really. He's there every step of the way with you. How fortunate we are that we belong to such a great God. Really, we're most blessed. You know, praise of our ancestors, maybe our past life. We're so blessed to have him. Then he abruptly gets up, he walks up a little incline. And as he's walking, he had a cream shawl on his shoulder. And I saw him physically, and I was running behind him. Because in one dream too, later, he told me, why are you always running behind me when he was leaving a satsang? And I said, Swami, I like to be with you. And he said, I've got to see lots of other people too. I remember that one time. And as he was walking up the incline, I was running. And I saw him take his right hand, remove something from his left arm, take his left arm, remove something from the right arm, threw it into the bushes. And then he took his shawl, twirled it, and threw it at me. And as I was running for the shawl, and he beckoned to me to take the shawl. As I was running to take the shawl, there seemed to be some 4 sages who were running for it. As they neared it, because I was behind them, they tripped. And I took the shawl, I put it on me, and I said, Swami, thank you. Got up in the morning, feeling very sticky under my arms, and I saw 2 gaping wounds, deep wounds, no glands. He had operated me just by removing something from his arm. He had taken out mine. That goes to show his assurance that I'm in you and you are in me. And that particular day, that's exactly what the Lord had proved to him, that he is in us and we are in him. That assurance, we must take it very, very seriously, that he's always with us. I phoned the doctor and I told him I'm not coming in for the up. He said, that's impossible. I'd seen you yesterday, and he says it's getting swollen and pus is filling in. I said, doctor, but it's not there. He said, no, I have to see this for myself. So I went to him, he looked at it and he said, you know, I could not have done it better myself. It's done so well. So he wiped it, he cleaned it, he put a little gauze on it, and I went back to work. And this is what Swami could do. From, you know, it depends on how you yearn and how you call it, always. And I'm so grateful to bringing me so far. And now, obviously, I'm also having another problem with my health, which I'll come to. So I went to work. In 2009, I was in Prashanti, and I'm a trust chairperson. I worked very, very closely with her because she had heard of the tremendous work the Ladies Forum of the South African devotees were doing. She was very impressed. And she called me into the Ishurama Trust. She had a chat, introduced me to the people of the Ishurama Trust, and we worked together with her. And one of our sisters who was working with me, Dr. Sister Daya, introduced her to, and this is how we brought the Mother and Child program. She called me in July. She said, Sabi, we're having a program in Prashanti. I would love you to bring a program. I said, oh, that would be so nice. I said, obviously, if you're being called to Prashanti to perform under the divine grace and gaze of the Lord, who wouldn't be excited to go? Very excitedly, I brought the message into South Africa. That time I was the Ladies Forum convener and the VP vice president. I was told, no, it's not possible. You know, things were difficult. And I said, you know, I have to let it go. But on the 26th of August, Swami came in my dream. And he said, Sabi, when are you coming to Prashanti? Ladies' Day or birthday? And I said, Swami, Ladies' Day. He says, oh, you're coming Ladies' Day? Then he said, show me the program. I had one of our past Ladies Forum leaders in my dream sitting next to me, and I asked her, did you bring the program we have with Swami? And she said, yes. I handed him the program. He looked at it and he said, good. I got up the next day. I had got my command from the Lord himself. And there's no ways I'm not going to do what you wanted. I called and said, I'm going to Prashanti. And August, September, and October, rehearsals began. Everyone, we got beautiful devotees in South Africa. You just have to say, but you want to do something in Prashanti, all come forward to help. And, you know, in long as I was in term of office, I always got such beautiful cooperation. They always come through. They show their love for the beloved Lord. We did it, we went to the program, and because the Ishurama Trust chairperson used to work so closely with me, she told me, Sabi, I've arranged for you all to train at the Cycle 1 I said, that's beautiful. You know, we're going to train in Cycle 1 On the 18th of November, we were training Cycle 1 and they were putting up this beautiful flowers, and they're doing everything, the training. And before she used to, Ishurama Trust chairperson to go to Swami, she came to me, she says, I know you're training, but you know, anything can be stopped. Because Swami will look at the program and he'll advise who's to come, who's not to come. I said, no, I understand, I've heard about it. So she took the program to Swami, and she went, I said, would you please put us to the end? Because we had a very, very vibrant dance and song. Could you put us to the end? I had an ulterior motive of asking her to put us in the end, because we went to the end, then we'll be sitting closer to him. That was the motive, so that we can be close to Swami. He looked at the program
Saram,
and he said,
it's been such a lovely share. And due to time constraints, This program can go on, and it is so beautiful to have this, experience shared, and have you on. It's been such a blessing. Swami handpicked you to serve in his organization. This is the yearn that you have from the bottom of your heart. So definitely we need time for you to share your experiences with us. We will be given more time. We just need to conclude with a few more items that need to come on. Sister Savvy, just one quick message for the Mahilas and the young adults coming through. What is your advice?
Okay, I would say for the ladies moving forward, Swami has given us this organization to strengthen our one-to-one relationship with him, to find the God within us, and we've all found it. And we always say that Mother Ishwarama was so, she was so fortunate to have been chosen by Swami to become the Mother of God. And in the same vein, I would say, no other avatar who came to earth had given the ladies such a beautiful gift as forming the Ladies Forum. And I think that is very, very important that every day we show our gratitude to him. And it's because of him giving us the Ladies Forum, and I feel it is a gift to humanity also, because we have a very, very important role to play. When Swami was talking to the Anantapur girls, he told them, I don't want anything from you. All I want for you to bring up your children with my teachings and share the values that you've learned from the college. There's nothing else I want from you. And it is incumbent on you all to see we have a very good future. And I would say to all the ladies, Swami came down, he did his duty. He empowered us ladies, he gave us the Ladies Forum. We now not only the glorified kitchen work, ladies, we involved in leadership programs, we involved in everything. I can say for South Africa, we've done tremendous work on skills training and workshops. And any devotees from Mauritius there in 2007, we had a ladies program in Mauritius also, which was very well attended and went very well. And dear ladies, and to the youth, I tell you, don't be afraid. Don't let nothing come in the path that Swami has chosen for us. You all are the future leaders. You owe our society a great deed with the society to bring up your children the proper way. And also, Balvikas is very, very important. To make sure that all children of us go to Balvikas. Always remember, even in the past, the ladies have a very royal heritage. Whenever there was some program to uplift mankind, the ladies were always involved and shared the burden with the men. So to all you ladies there, please, this is a beautiful gift given to us by Swami, very beautiful gift. Please take it and run forward. And never let the Ladies Forum go down. Just the last thing, this one time, they had decided while I was president of the organization, but they're going to take the Ladies Forum and incorporate it into the Seva wing. I wrote a letter to Prashant, the chairperson. I said, in other countries you can do it, but as long as I'm the president of this country, the Ladies Forum will remain, because I've always encouraged them to do things, and I'm not going to let them down. I pray to Swami, to all of you all, to continue to inspire you and continue with this divine mission, Jai Sai.
Thank you, Sister Savi, and I'm pleased to say that, with your determination, the Ladies Forum has really grown in South Africa. Thank you for bringing that forth. With constraints, we need to move on. And next we have our devotional zonal coordinator, Brother Suresh Nandla. Suresh, thank you. Jai Saram.
offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Master Bhagawan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, the embodiments of unconditional love, Om Shri Sai Ram. I want to take this opportunity in offering gratitude to Bhagawan for firstly making this program successful, making it come to fruition. It was through prayer and in sadhana that Swami, we offer this program to you as an offering for the 100th centenary celebrations. And I'm sure with your grace and your blessing, Bhagavan, that this program is truly going to be a success. I want to take this opportunity and thank every single devotee, our Zonchi Uncle Subri for sharing his experiences, every single devotee that made the time to come on board, made the sacrifice to share their experiences. Thank you. It was so inspiring, so beautiful. To our elders of the organization, Sister Savi Ramlal, thank you. We can go on and on hearing your beautiful experiences, but unfortunately time did not permit it today. But I'm sure in sessions to come, we will hear more of your beautiful stories and the experiences that you've had with Swami. As it was mentioned throughout the whole session, you know, we've had devotees from different parts of Africa joining us, from different parts of the world as well. And all of us in different parts of Africa speak different languages. But the one common thing that has brought us together today, to this evening, is the language of love and the love that we have for Swami. And it's only due to his grace and blessing that this program has been so successful, and it's been so inspiring. Everyone in some way or the other has touched our lives, has inspired us, whether we've had a personal experience with Swami, seeing him in his physical form, or just him touching us in a dream, in our day-to-day lives. It's a blessing in itself. And I'm sure, this centenary celebration where we offer our gratitude to Swami is going to be with us every step of the way. Never ever doubt that Swami is with us every single day, every single minute, guiding us, guarding us, protecting us. He's our Guru, our Jagat Guru, our Sat Guru. Everything that we require, he will always be there. So I want to thank each and every one of you. It wouldn't be too long because we're out of time. Offering gratitude to Bhagavan, offering gratitude to every one of you. I know the time zones are different, and in Mauritius, it's quite late now in other parts of the country. So thank you to all the devotees from Mauritius, from other parts of the country logging on. Thank you to everyone for sharing your experiences. This program is going to be a monthly program. And this is just we've just touched the surface of this. And with Swami's grace and blessing, it's just going to grow from strength to strength. And we're going to hear more and more beautiful experiences from devotees across the Zone 9. Thank you once again for tuning in. And we look forward in seeing you the next session that's coming up. Jai Sai Ram. We will now go to concluding prayers.
Om Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Sathya Sai Hari Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Bhakti Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hari Shivadana Srikara Sarva Pranapati Swami Sai समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई